Whenever you're ready.
You started recording?
I've been recorded for the past 5 minutes.
Okay, everyone be quiet.
Renegade.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the EBW podcast. For my first time being on the podcast, I am Psycho, or better known as Jagger, and Dex just left. Oh, no, not Dex. Austin just left.
Oh, of course, blame me.
My bad,
Yeah,
Dex.
everybody fucking everybody kind of
I don't know what the topic for today is, so Johnny, tell us the topic.
You know, it's so hilarious because you did all of that, and literally all you hear is ah, and then just nothing else. So you don't hear no banging. You don't hear like the beginning of a ah. You just hear, and that's it.
You're talking about me talking. I thought the whole speech was messed up. I was about to restart.
Anyway,
I'm considering going to get my earphones because no one can hear me.
We can hear you. Okay, so as Johnny said, the topic, Johnny told us, the topic for today is our influences on why we became, or why we want to be wrestlers, or why we're becoming wrestlers. So
Yep, we're kind of we have a list, but most of these are garbage. So I mean, we're pretty boring. So we might as well relate what we find to be not boring to ourselves, such as actual people. So we're going to be talking about actual people rather than us, and you know how they can, and how like their influence has generated a character from us. I think that we should go in the same order we have been.
well, what was the order? So,
fucking what? Who echoed? Who echoed? Who did that?
Who echoed?
Kerry, you want to go first?
yeah,
What?
let's start with the obvious. Who's your biggest influence?
My biggest influence is Mick Foley.
Yeah, sticker head ass.
Well, you gotta think about it. It's like I'm the craziest one.
Kerry,
Who's the one currently in a sling?
I bet you creamed yourself whenever you seen the fight with AJ Styles and The Undertaker, and that freaking cross came out of nowhere. I know you did.
AJ Styles. I never liked AJ. No, I'm just kidding. I like AJ Styles. He's good.
Okay, why is The Undertaker your biggest influence? Because you never told us that, really.
Because, this could be completely debatable, but even in the early 2000s, there's not really much characters. Like, even now, there's not really much characters. It's just more of just, I guess, personalities.
Yeah.
Like, Seth Rollins, it could be like, oh, his character's a messiah. It's like, no, it's just a dude with an attitude. The Undertaker is someone that, up to now, has just, like, a different attitude. Like, he's a ghost, basically.
And, like, how long has it been since Undertaker kept that gimmick? The 1980s?
Since like the early 90s, but obviously as technology advanced, they allowed him to do more, like have lightning and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it started off with just him coming out in like the basic Undertaker attire. Then my favorite gimmick of all was the American Badass version of it, where he came out on the Harley and did a whole thing. And that was my favorite gimmick by far.
And even in the
like,
early 90s, the coolest, like the very first thing that you saw whenever he'd advanced was he rose out of the casket after losing to Yokozuna, and in which it was like, whoa, that's something different. Especially when you compare it to the people of like Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, which even Hulk Hogan to me isn't really a character, it was more of just like a personality.
He's more, Hulk Hogan's character was more or less like something the kids could, he's like Hulk Hogan. John Cena is the Hulk Hogan of today.
Basically.
Honestly, yeah.
Because like John Cena,
If you look at it, he's more for kids than
the whole stay loyal, do this, do that. It's like, it's basically the same. Eat your vitamins, brother. You gotta do this and do that, brother. Like,
yeah.
And that's why I think Undertaker's so special even up to now, because as I said, it's nothing but just guys with a name but not necessarily a character. Undertaker's still there despite his old age and not being able to wrestle as much. He's still just like, if he comes out, you're silent. You want to hear what he's going to say because he's a character.
And then, like, let's say how I know it's not the same thing, but like the biggest pop in my eyes that happened so far was when Triple H and I think it was the Authority at the time was jumping Daniel Bryan, and then the lights come off and with the Crow, and then Sting comes out. How everyone knows Sting as, oh shit, Sting is like a badass, but not as equal to Undertaker, but him returning every time gives him such a big pop because he's a legend. Undertaker is a bigger legend than most of the wrestlers, and God forgive me for saying that about most of them, but you gotta think Undertaker has never lost a WrestleMania until Brock Lesnar when he was medically induced to lose it.
And it's crazy because, like, obviously Undertaker, like, he was like he's definitely up there in the Mount Rushmore of wrestling, you know, for sure. So that's why, like, to me, he's like a big influence. Plus, he's like, he was tall, like not like one of the first tall men, but he was tall and he was big, but he also had like a good enough agility to move with anyone.
Yeah, because Undertaker, if I'm right, how old is Undertaker right now? In mid-50s, 60s?
Yeah, he's in his mid-50s.
Undertaker during WrestleMania 20, if I'm right, when he went against Shawn Michaels, that man
25.
That man was pushing around 40 years old, and he jumped out from the ring onto the ground and did a front flip and still managed to hit where he was supposed to go.
On a cameraman, exact. But and then even before that, whenever he went up against Mark Henry and he went over the casket, like he could do some great stuff. Which obviously it's sad nowadays to see him even try and fight, because he obviously been through hell and back, literally, with surgeries and injuries and stuff. But I think the biggest thing that people seem to forget is his fear of cucumbers, you know? Because, man, I don't know how a man could just survive in a world full of cucumbers and just accept it, you know?
But, like, I'm not gonna choke on Vince McMahon's dick right now or anything, but, like, if y'all ever want to, like, learn about The Undertaker, legit go watch it on the WWE Network for $9.99.
Either that or get his book. It literally from beginning to end.
There's a lot of wrestlers that have wonderful books out there for y'all to read, and it tells you their journey.
And even now on WWE Network, they're releasing the Undertaker docu-series right now that I've been watching.
Undertaker: The Last Ride.
And it's crazy too, because he's sitting there, and one of the things that blows my mind is he talks about how bad his WrestleMania match with Roman was. If he thinks that was his worst, then it's like I don't know what is, because the match honestly wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't.
And then in the docu-series that he did, the first episode came out saying how after the WrestleMania with Brock Lesnar, when he lost his streak, he was so scared to go back during the next WrestleMania because he was scared the match wasn't any good because what happened. And then he said that all of his friends, like Triple H, walked up to him and told him that he's going to kill it and that he's going to make this WrestleMania his bitch and everything.
Anyway, this podcast is turning about just like talking about Undertaker, but that's one of my influences. Mick Foley also, like he was one. I met him. He was the first wrestler I legitimately like marked over as a young kid, because I met him at maybe like 12, 13, and I idolized him because of I knew about his stuff in ECW. Like I studied the man, and his work is so great. He was one of those that I believe just like. Not only was he good at the hardcore stuff, but he could tell another great story with just regular matches in general.
Mm-hmm. Austin, you want to go now?
Sure. Let's see. One of my influences, in my opinion, now this is going to be controversial because I know how people feel about this certain wrestler. But Chris Benoit, I find I liked his technical wrestling style. Like, because he's like the first match I seen with him, it was him.
Who shooting?
No, it was a triple threat match with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I remember seeing that match and I fucking loved it. I liked his technical wrestling style. Um,
Well, let me ask you this, because your style of wrestling in EBW doesn't exactly scream Benoit to me. You know,
Yeah,
like
I
you're,
mean,
you're not much of a technical wrestler.
yeah, I mean, that's just one of them. The second one really, it's a mixture between I would say Kevin Owens and kind of like that, yeah, kind of Kevin
Owens,
Owens
not
like.
Steen?
Oh well,
Come on now.
I mean-
Steen steps up to Owen. Steen don't play.
Sting don't play. But yeah, and then like another one would be Sammy Callahan too. I like his don't give a shit attitude.
Don't spit on me ever. I swear to God, boy. Don't ever.
Nah, I would do that to Dex in our match.
Yeah.
Watch out, you gonna blow out your shoulder too.
How
But yeah,
how you
I just
say
like his attitude.
Chris Benoit, Chris Benoit,
Benoit?
Yeah.
Chris Beignet.
like everything that happened with him in the WWE, not like putting him out there like as a legend. Yeah, I understand that, but like they also got to think no one's gonna forget about him. He's always gonna get brought up no matter what. He's always gonna be wanted to put in the game, and WWE's just not gonna let it happen. He was one of the best that they had in the Attitude Era. Him and Eddie Guerrero. But seeing how all that stuff happened with him, they had a reason to like knock him down from what he did. But Chris Benoit is still one of the greatest in my eyes.
Exactly. There's no. It's a shame.
You know, I can respect the artist. You can respect the art that he.
Yeah,
he's
you
done.
can respect his art. Can't respect on what he did.
Exactly, but it's a shame that obviously what he did is going to be above everything he did in the ring, which is absolutely sad. Especially if you see like the stuff he did in Japan with Eddie. Like,
Oh my God! Yes, the New Japan stuff. Wasn't
as
he the
Pegasus Kid?
Yeah, Pegasus
And
Kid.
then not to mention his son having to deal with that shit too.
Yeah, you still got a kid out there.
Yeah, and then like
Yeah.
everyone like talking like him how close he was to Eddie really hit home to people, knowing that like the reason he did it was mainly because Eddie died and all the concussions from him doing the stuff that he was doing and everything else like that. Still, but like what kind of gets to me is how like WWE, when they find out Chris Benoit died, they're like, we want to pay respects to Chris, but yet as soon as they find out what they did, they're like, oh, we take it back. We don't condone what he's done. He's not going to be in the Hall of Fame anytime in the future. But yet, Chris Benoit didn't want to be in the Hall of Fame because he thought he never amounted up to what the WWE legends meant.
And that's what's
Yeah.
crazy. Even in the beginning, when you could hear about how like if Benoit thought he had a bad match, he would punish himself by doing squats, 100 of them.
Squat.
It shows how dedicated he was to the sport, and it's still a shame that you know, and at least like I know Nancy obviously wasn't a part of WWE, but she was still a part of wrestling. Obviously, nobody really remembers that either, but you know, at least shows some kind of respect towards her. She was nothing but just a victim through it all.
Yeah. Like, wasn't her the woman? Wasn't that her wrestling name?
Yeah, just woman. And she
Yeah,
was
woman.
beautiful. I never like dug deep, but they were showing pictures of her and stuff, and it's like, wow, like she was really a beautiful woman, and she was a pioneer in women in wrestling in general.
She was one of
Yeah.
the women who started women wrestling for everybody else. And you said Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is a good one too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put that out there. Kevin Owens. I watched his stuff at Ring of Honor and NXT and all that other stuff. I've seen a lot of wrestlers come from Ring of Honor to WWE, such as Seth, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Simon Gotch, Aiden English. Most of the wrestlers they have that are popping now were in Ring of Honor.
And PWG,
And-
those went hand in hand. Those were the
And,
two big indie companies.
CZW. Let's not forget CZW because Dean Ambrose was in CZW for a long time.
Let's not mention CZW at the moment. They under some big fire right now.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. They bought
That's a whole nother.
they
episode
bought
we
the
can-
library to like an all women's promotion, and they've been setting up like pay-per-views to set up. Ooh, okay. they've been setting up pay-per-views, but it was making them like as sexy titles, as if like they were like name of pornos and stuff, just to sell.
So he's just basically doing what WWE did to women back in like 2000 in the Attitude Era.
Yeah, but it's more of just like they're using the title for
hot blondes get wrecked or some shit.
No, not going that far. But it's like talking about cat fights and stuff. When it's like women, it's like obviously it's legitimate matches, just women different. Yeah. Anyway, who wants to go next?
Yeah, who wants to go next for influences?
Hi, Johnny.
I guess I'll.
Let's let Johnny real quick because he's been quiet. He quiet boy.
We can't hear you, Phil or Johnny. My bad.
Kayfabe isn't
we can't hear.
Kayfabe is real.
Entire time.
Yeah,
okay,
no.
While Johnny
you good now.
I'm gonna go. While Johnny situates himself, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna figure out how to make this work. You do your stuff. I'm gonna interrupt you every once in a while to see if I'm gonna get this mic to work.
Okay, right. So, y'all already know like one of my major influences.
Shinsuke Nakamura with those nice ass kicks.
But no,
breaking noses.
Like all y'all know that like all the EBW people that like Kerry, Austin, Dex, and Johnny all know that my dad is a wrestler himself, and I've been wrestling since I was a baby, since he started, and I've always been on to my dad because my dad is kind of like, in my eyes, the best wrestler in Louisiana in some way, some form, because my dad started wrestling in his early 20s, and he just stopped right now. And kind of when I was younger, kind of being into the wrestling business because him forcing, like not really forcing me in it, but like trying to push me in it and tell me, oh, do this, you're gonna love it because I've done it and I've loved it forever. But I've always been into bad guy gimmicks because that's what my dad was. My dad was always a heel. He was always the bad guy, and he was damn good at it. Like, I remember going to a show when I was like 15, and my dad's running his mouth about Louisiana because I was right. We were somewhere where people had no teeth.
Testing.
Okay, good job, Phil.
Does it work?
Yeah, you're good.
No,
I
can't
do
hear
it.
you at all.
Shut up, Dex.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm asking if it sounds terrible.
For right
Yes.
now, no.
No, it sounds good.
For right now, no.
Lovely.
Good.
Lovely. Go on.
So when I was 15, I went to a show. My dad's talking about the people, like, bad talking the woman, and, like, he gets in their face, and she swung on him. And my dad, instead of swinging back, he pinched his nose and said, "Damn, bitch, you stink," and walked to the back, and I was dying laughing. And then come to his last match for Louisiana, he was doing this gimmick. He started beating the guy with a chair. I counted how many chair shots. He was giving this guy 20 chair shots. And you hear one old man, "You hit like a bitch." And my dad looks at him, he's like, "I hit like a bitch. I hit like a bitch." And he hits him 10 more times. Ask him if I hit like a bitch, and I was dying. He slapped a beer out of a guy's hand, went all over a year-old girl. That was funny. My dad, in my eyes, was in Louisiana, top down. Nobody can really top him. WWE standpoint, I was always a fan of Jeff Hardy. The Hardy Boys and Jeff Hardy were always going to be one of my favorites from there because the whole high-flying, the hardcore stuff, and all that. When I first started doing this backyard wrestling stuff, you can ask Kerry, I wasn't about doing anything that dealt with me nearly dying. Mm-mm. And then I come back from a little...
Dan was scared of landing in rocks.
Jump off the trampoline.
Sure is Johnny Burns in here.
I'm like, you know what, Phil? You fuck off. I'm like, you know what?
Uh-oh.
Off the tramp, power bombing through this table. They're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then I started doing flips and shit off of it, and it was fun because like I've always wanted to do that. With Marty, them doing that and watching. I've always watched their SummerSlam video with them and the Dudleys going against each other and Edge and Christian because that was like the best match with all three of them. And my third favorite. Ooh, geez, this one's gonna be kind of a battle because he's not really. Shite. I can't remember his gimmicks back in the day.
Well, what's the name?
Huh?
What's the name?
He was in ECW. It wasn't Tommy. No, not Tommy Dreamer.
You like Raven.
No, I think it was one of the Dudleys back in the day.
You like Spike.
Spike Dudley.
I think it was Spike. Didn't he do the running bulldog off the corner?
Little Spike Dudley. Either that, or you could like either Spike, or you were gonna say Big Dick. Either way.
Sign guy.
Yeah, Sign Guy. That was my favorite wrestler.
But Dudleys were also good. I'm not gonna lie, because when ECW was, ECW, like when nobody really watched it, but the guys who like loved hardcore shit, they got a video of ECW doing their promo whenever Bubba Ray's the white one, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But my guy, your name is Devon.
I get them mixed up. Not gonna lie. But I remember when
Acid drop.
Bubba Ray walks to the rope, and he's like, "We got a mother over here that taught his daughter how to."
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that promo.
Loved it. And like, pardon me, whenever he called the guy in a Hawaiian shirt, that it was funny because like
that was causing a riot. They caused a riot.
They caused a riot. That was some funny shit.
They would call like a woman in the front spit on him, and then Bubba Ray's like, "You spit on me, bitch! I spit on you, bitch!"
Oh, that promo's so great. That's one of my favorite promos for real, because they just cut all the time. We got a mother in the front row teaching her daughter how to suck dick. Oh, just lost it.
For me, like, wrestling is good, but I'm more into like their promos. If they can do a good promo, that's like top notch. Mainly if you're a bad guy. If you can piss the audience off within seconds of you saying something, like down here in Louisiana, most of the bad guys down here would be like, they could come from another city. Like my dad was from Sacramento, California. That was his wrestling gimmick. He came from Sacramento. He would come down here and say, "This motherfucking stinks. No wonder I'm gonna be down here in New Orleans, Louisiana." And
easiest attack is on the city. Easy. That's cheapy.
And he would just like, he looked at a woman and he'd be like, "Well, lady, you're the reason it's called a toothbrush." And it's like, they would pop. And my dad, also, best gimmick he's ever done was the color people gimmick. My dad gimmick where he got...
Dex's face changed.
My dad legit did a gimmick where he got hit in the head with a chair so hard that it made him go crazy. And like, they did this like morph suit, how Johnny has the black morph suit stuff. They have that little thing, and like it would come out green, red, purple, all that other stuff.
He just left.
I don't care. We bring boys. But like they would come out and they would come out to the Power Rangers theme, like the old Power Rangers like retro fighting theme. And then my dad would say something. So one time my dad comes out in like his civilian clothes and he's like, "Someone broke into my house and they took my wrestling gimmicks, this and that, this and that." And then they come out in his wrestling gimmicks and he's like, "I knew it. If someone breaks into your house, it's gotta be a colored person." And everyone just started dying laughing. And then they would disappear, reappear. One time my dad got out the ring and he turned around and seen two black guys and he put his fist up and said, "Sorry, y'all all look alike."
Your dad was trying to get in trouble, bro. He was trying to die.
My dad did a gimmick one night in Mississippi when we lived in that Mississippi where he said something about somebody and he was going off on it. And wrestling fans were waiting for him with tire irons and chains and shit. My dad also did another wrestling gimmick where he would like make fun of a black guy called Brother Love, and Brother Love's like, "You know what? We gonna have a match tonight."
Brother Love was orange.
No, like
this version of Brother Love.
Oh, it's a black guy who he was really good, but he was like, "We gonna have ourselves a spear chucker match." My dad's like, "Spear chucker match, whatever." Goes for the pin. The ref's like, "No pin." throws the guy outside, no count out. Puts him in a submission, no submission. Dad looks at the ref like, you gonna tell me what the spirit chucker match is? And he told him to turn around. Brother loves spirit him, rung the bell. That was a spirit chucker match.
Oh man, your dad really got some stories. Like I don't like he's not used to doing interviews, but if you dig hard enough, you could find like old pictures of your dad. He talks about, he talks about his career.
Like if you want, look up Stan Sweet-Tan on YouTube. Look up the Players Club videos. Watch that. Watch Stan Sweet-Tan versus the Gypsy. Stan Sweet-Tan versus Terry Bryant. Everything that good of my dad is from the late 1990s, and they're really good. Y'all will like them. I'm not.
You just trying to plug your dad? No, I'm just.
I'm not just trying to show them like Louisiana wrestling how that is made. Like how,
I'm watching it right now. Good God, he is large.
My dad. You know what's funny? My dad weighed 400 pounds at one point.
And it's you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. It's so weird because I see your dad at Walmart. Obviously, I work there, but I see your dad, and then I think about you, and it's like, damn, Jagger got the skinny jeans from who?
How are you so small when we have such a large biomass out of Mr. Sweet-Tan?
Out of on my mom's side, my grandpa was like 6'5". My grandma was like 5'10". I got my mom's side of the genes. My dad gave my sister her side. If you can tell by looking at my sister.
Oh, I could tell.
But still, it was just like, it's crazy because even up to now, like I know your dad's been like hitting the gym because he goes to the same gym and stuff, and he's trying to slim down, but at the same time, he's still a thick boy.
Yeah, like if you
like, think Austin's thick.
Like when my dad
damn boy, he's thick.
That's a thick boy. Like when my dad was 400 pounds at the time, he was like, all right, this is what you gotta do. Irish whip, and he does a frog, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Your dad can move. Your dad can move.
He can.
Oh, for real.
Stan Sweet-Tan can, in fact, fly like a big man. Yes, indeed. Yes, Lord.
But if y'all go on YouTube and y'all see him in videos with a guy with a mask named Minotaur, watch when they're in the corner because my dad's going to be pinching his nuts because that's what they always do.
And you know what? If you dig extra hard, you can find videos of like 3-4-year-old Jagger running around in a little singlet in a wrestling ring trying to hit a 619 from the last post.
If y'all want to watch the videos of me, like roughly 6 years old when I'm wrestling, look up Jagger the Killer Sweet-Tan.
And it's so cool. It's actually legitimately cool because you can see a 6-year-old Jagger legitimately getting arm dragged around the ring, just taking them bumps and getting right back up. It's like, yeah, he could work in a ring. It's just, yeah, you're just like all of us. You just need timing on your side because, you still got some training to do.
Yeah, like I've been trained. I was training, and I put that in quotation marks, for
Jagger the Killer Sweet-Tan.
10, 12 years already. I've been in training for 10 and 12 years, but I've never really learned anything from other than hitting the ropes, taking a bump, taking an arm drag, taking a hip toss, and taking a body slam, and taking a leg drop.
The majority of everything else you've learned in EBW.
Yeah,
realistically.
Good God.
And I can't give it 100%, but most of them learned a lot from me because like I've told them here and there like this is how this is supposed to go. If you want to do this, good, do it like this. But I'm not gonna take 100% of the action because Kerry's helped out, Austin's helped out. We've all helped each other. Realistically, we've all helped each other the best way that we could.
Realistically, they all help.
Johnny, realistically, you're helping. Your character is honestly one of the best. If we're gonna be quite honest, like you know how to cut
sure
a promo. I'm not just kissing yes, all right? We're not in character right now. I could say this. Your character is actually great.
Dear God.
Here's the thing with me. As Jagger, I do not like doing a face character. I choose to do a heel character because it's what I was raised around. But if I were to do a face character, I wouldn't care because, changing it up a little bit. That's why every now and again, Jagger is the face character, but Psycho is the heel.
Yeah, that's what I like about your character.
It's like, it's basically Bray Wyatt's a baby face and a heel at the same time, if I'm right.
He's just over.
He's over.
But like, I don't want to put too much into him, but like, That's what my dad did. My dad did 2 gimmicks. My dad did super stand, bat stand, cap stand, and iron stand. Four different characters in one match because he was nice.
Why?
He was supposed to. He did the make fun, but he did 4 characters in a 10-man battle royal.
I bet he still lost.
Yeah, he still lost.
Okay, so who's next? Who's next?
Let's get Phil going.
I believe it is indeed me, but I'm going to start by saying, how silly you look. I'm watching the video. This is silly.
He's a kid.
He's
a kid. He wasn't a fat dude on a trampoline with his ass crack showing.
Oh yeah, hey look, man, like that was like striking gold after digging through the guys who are using our logo.
But anyway,
okay, so
your influences, John.
So the thing about Dex, get your ass out of the camera.
Nobody's going to be able to see what's happening. You're just doing this to be bored.
See it.
No, I'm talking about the fans. They're going to be like, get your ass out of the camera. They're going to be like, what ass?
What ass? Right, all right. So thing about Johnny is that he is not cultured and he doesn't watch wrestling outside of WWE. Now, ooh, disgusting. Boo. Boo the heel. No one likes that. So my knowledge on, wrestlers is very limited. Like, you couldn't hear me earlier, but most of that was because I wasn't saying anything because I didn't know most of the stories. I specifically know exactly nothing about Mr. Sweetan. I knew only so much about Chris Benoit. And I wasn't even here to listen to Kerry talk about The Undertaker, but I have done that before, so I didn't need to really hear anything. So, unfortunately, my... God, I don't really know about an idol. I think... I like... Who inspired me? I had all this time to think. See, I was kind of splitting it between a number of them. The first one, I'm going to get the easy one out of the way and say Daniel Bryan.
That's understanding. He had the whole Yes movement. He, the whole B plus player making it into an A+ world with all like Triple H, Randy Orton, and all that.
And small guy. He's a great influencer of small people. That could work.
Yeah, and he's become.
It's okay. You can get.
He's just kind of built himself into what the people want him to see, and surprisingly enough, it was just exactly him. He just did the impossible and just put Vince in a position where he couldn't ignore us, and I feel like I want to be like that. Now, Johnny Burns is naturally a heel. He's better as a heel. I can actually do it. Go both ways about it. But the idea with him was that he was going to be a heel, and there was the only real face about him was that he was popular and that people liked him. So being a heel was pretty difficult. Now. Daniel Bryan, I guess I really wanted to implement a lot of submissions into my character, but whenever I never got down to that, I was like, all right, I guess it's not going to work. But who I initially based the entire character off of was kind of The Miz, because what I like about The Miz, first off, shut up, shut your mouth.
I wanted to say your gimmick reminded me though, because the whole cocky attitude, the whole everything, I understand that.
Yes,
I liked it
because the thing about The Miz is that he is kind of what I want to be. He's famous. He is incredibly good looking. He's married to Maurice. He's obviously had sex with Maurice because he has 2
Is that why you're throwing his name in the basket? Because he had sex with a woman?
Okay.
Oh, he had sex with a woman, so I must like him.
No. The idea
It made Austin leave.
Oh my God.
It made Austin leave.
Austin left. Guys, come on, like, it's Maurice.
Come on,
Who doesn't want to get in?
It's like, that's like me saying,
Yeah,
dude, I
Maurice.
love Rusev because holy hell, Lana. Like, come on.
Bobby Lashley.
Anyway, no, we don't talk about Bobby. Anyway, so, all right, so, but like The Miz, he's a famous actor, and that is part of his character. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and say that The Miz inspired me to become an actor because that's not how it happened. It was totally by accident, but we're not talking about that.
Maybe someday.
But like maybe someday, everything that I did initially as Johnny Burns was in mimic with The Miz, because I always thought, all right, so I need to make this as much about me as possible. I need to find clever ways to win. I need to shut up.
Hot Talk is the Miz highlight reel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
You know
His own
what?
show.
This is the most, like, Jagger's actually throwing out, like, good comparisons to Johnny. Because Johnny's like, oh, I want to be cocky. And it was like, well, you're not being cocky. And then there's Jagger just like, oh, I get it. He's cocky. It's like, he's the only...
Hey, you guys want to see cocky? Well, all right. It's yes. Oh my God. Okay.
Y'all
all
can't
right.
see
So
what we do. I'm scared.
yeah. So yeah, The Miz. And what I especially liked about The Miz was that he is, and I actually had a conversation about this with Kerry earlier. The Miz is one of the only people who will win a title and not say I'm a fighting champion and make his title reign about the title. Like I'm using Andrade as an example right now because he's the only other champion that comes to mind. But like he's just hanging with the big boys with the title. That's all he's doing. Oh my God.
Not on the podcast. Not on the podcast. Not on the podcast.
That's it. I gotta get the
Not on the podcast. Not on the podcast. Not
Oh
on
my
the
God.
podcast. No, this can't happen here. Our only happy place. The only time that people listen to us, and you're gonna go ahead and ruin it by pissing. No. Oh, thank God he muted his mic.
Okay, he's muting himself. We're good. All right, so, we're gonna not give context on what just happened, but
I'm gonna have to cut something out. You just hear all of us going, no, 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 no. Please keep going.
Whenever I won the title, I thought to myself, all right, how can I make this as much of about the title as possible? Because that's what The Miz would do. And by the way, I never liked The Miz, but he was like just always the best heel WWE has like almost ever had.
Is that really what you think? He's the best heel?
That's stretching it.
But
No,
like,
not
your gimmick had to been like my favorite upgrade that's ever happened because like it went from you taking orders like and the hell it was supposed to go. You were supposed to be taking orders somewhat from me and
Yep.
and all that, and then like I like how you went from like, you know, Kerry, you should do this, like giving Kerry like, oh, maybe you should do this. I'm not telling you, but I kind of want you to do it. To like, like basically being like, you know, if you don't do it, it just shows that you're weaker than everybody else that's in business, and you kind of manipulate them how the people in wrestling, and I like that. I like your not your podcast, your hot
talk show.
Yeah, your talk show was good.
That's half the character. That's honestly half the character is hot talk. By the way, hey everybody, we mentioned hot talk. Let's all unanimously make the same joke about hot talk that we always make whenever we're talking about it. Ready? One, 2, 3. Hot garbage is what I was going to say.
I said my garbage, bitch.
See, Austin gets it. Austin's smart. Why can't you be like? Don't be like Austin. If you're listening to this, please don't be like Austin. Grow up. Be something better. Anyway, so
Let me say this real quick. Your first one, Daniel Bryan, great choice. I like that. But Team Hell No had to have been the funniest stuff I've seen with a tag team. because no. I like my
Not
only
even just
favorite
that.
thing. I love the part whenever they're in the they're eating at that diner and then all screaming yes, and then wasn't it Mae Young
Yeah.
was sitting across the thing? She's like, I'll have what they're having. And I was dying.
That's one of my favorite. And then just overall their anger management classes too. Kane's just sitting there. When I was younger, my brother caught me on fire.
I was about to say that. I love his backstory. I grew up locked in a basement where I tortured squirrels or something, and then I buried my family alive. Or I burned my house down and buried my brother alive.
Oh my god, it's so sad. And I like that they brought him back, but it's so sad that that's like an underrated, like just tag team in general. But the segments, I really think made that tag team so special. I really like that. That was some good
if y'all if the viewers also want to see something funny, go watch Glenn Jacobs becoming mayor.
Is that the one where he's in the middle of a speech and the dude comes up and he puts on the mask?
And he chokeslams him?
Yeah, he chokeslams the dude on the stage. Man.
All right. So, surprising. What's probably gonna be surprising to people is that one of my inspirations. I have. I think one more after this one. One of my inspirations was indeed not Seth Rollins.
Are you saying that sarcastically?
Story time. I started doing the curb stomp. At least I was going to, and then I started using a half-assed Famister, and then it became just like a knee strike or something like that. I don't know. But I stole the stomp. I stole the curb stomp because Seth Rollins started doing this whole burn it down junk, and I'm like, excuse me. Because
now look, believe it or not, Austin Creed did not come from Xavier Woods. It is absolute BS, and everything was circumstantial.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. All circumstantial, and I'm freaking stoked that Seth Rollins has a new gimmick, a new theme song, so we can do this. Yeah, so he can. Hope he never goes to SmackDown because then he just go back to being all burn it down. I'll be no, thank you, please, love of God, let me be Johnny Burns. Let me say burn it down instead of let it burn.
Is yours Johnny Burns? It works with fire. Seth Rollins was just like, oh, I'm a Slayer, and then
I'm a beast slayer. I'm like Roman Reigns.
Anyway, so. Probably my last inspiration. This is probably the one. I've been saving this one for last because it's like true, and I fucking miss him, and I just want to see him again.
CM Punk.
It's CM Punk, guys.
Yeah, big
CM
pop from the crowd. Yeah.
Like,
cause
CM Punk was my all-time favorite. He wasn't my biggest influence, but he was my favorite in the business.
Oh, there's no doubt. I loved Punk as a kid. I loved his reign as WWE champion and everything. I loved Punk.
I loved him in the straight edge society. I liked when he had his gimmick with Chris Jericho. How Chris Jericho was like, get up, Punk, you're drug free, and he starts pouring the beer on him, kicks him and slips at the same time.
Nice. Let's be honest. The Undertaker's last really good match was CM Punk versus The Undertaker.
No, okay, but listen to this. CM Punk didn't even want that match, man.
Yeah, he really did.
I know. He wanted John Cena versus The Rock versus CM Punk, or anything that puts CM Punk in the main event. But was that?
That would have worked, to be honest, too.
It would have been. Oh my.
Like, CM Punk didn't only say he didn't want that match to happen because it was like that, but he also said he didn't see himself on the same lineup as The Undertaker. He didn't want to be put up there with The Undertaker for the main event match with him.
And then to think, the promo still came out fantastic, especially using Paul Bearer's death.
He sold it well. I would never be able to tell that CM Punk didn't want to do it because he always sold it like hell. It was like that he's taunting about about Paul Bearer's actual death. He's he stole the urn. They made a really good story out of it. Poured his I don't know. I don't want to say stuff that I don't know, but like maybe those were his actual ashes. I don't think so.
That's not his real ashes.
No.
But still, that was one of those things that was like, whoa, controversy. I'm pissed.
But
but
what it was, it was a replica of the actual urn that Paul Bearer carried. It was the actual, supposedly the actual urn that he carried during his whole.
Yeah, that's what the whole story
and that's what I. And that's what I mean about like making matches and making feuds about something physical, because here's my thing right now about Randy Orton versus Edge. It's like we never really knew why they're fighting. Obviously Randy Orton's jealous, but that's the story that we're being told. But if that's the case, then like why? It's so frustrating because
like
jealousy is so easy.
Like, the good storylines were in the Attitude Era when Triple H and Randy Orton had their beef. Randy Orton gave Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon the kick to the head and RKO'd Stephanie McMahon and kissed her. Triple H. That was a perfect gimmick because that really happened. You've seen that happen. Nowadays, it's like Roman Reigns wants to beat Goldberg because Roman Reigns wants to be top dog. He wants to be big number one. And he's like, I'm gonna this is my no. You need to bring Roman Reigns to old folks' home, slap Goldberg's mama in the mouth, and just tell her to herself. Do something like
now.
That.
Now it's and I feel like half of it is if you're Saudi Arabian, leave this place right now, please. But if you're Saudi, like half of this is because of like the Saudi stuff, because they've made it pretty natural that this whole best in the world or you're the best or like, hey, you know what this means? This means I am good. I'm really good. And I'm not saying that like go on, you.
All right, so I'm sorry, Phil. John, Phil, whatever your name is right now. But the reason they don't do the things anymore is because WWE has pushed it so far one or two times. And I know one time by heart. It's that Lita, Kane, and Snitsky, or Mike Knox gimmick they did, where they were in a ring, Kane fell on Lita, supposedly killed the baby, Mike Knox had a baby doll, kicked it into the audience. People said that went too far, so they had to push back on gimmicks like that. They had to stop it, because they were like, okay, we're running out of ideas, and every idea is kind of getting offensive, because 3 days before 9/11 happened, they were going to have some Arabic gimmicks to come in and say, we're gonna blow shit up, we're gonna kill these guys, we're gonna blow you up, we're gonna do this. But then 9/11 happened. They wanted to bring the gimmicks back, but they were like, it's kind of too soon. Let's not do this. And then the Jinder Mahal gimmick came, and then I don't know if you Sabu as a Saudi Arabian gimmick. But Sabu came, and then everyone was like, he's the bad guy. He's Arabic. He blew this up. He blew that up. And then that's what they wanted with Jinder Mahal. When Jinder Mahal first joined. Jinder first joined, they were like, we want you to be the Arabic guy that's like, I'm going to destroy this and I'm going to destroy that. And then WWE's like, you know what? 3-man band. We don't want to get in too much trouble for having a guy talk about this up. Let's put you in a group called the 3MB with Heath Slater and Drew McIntyre. But you know, we see how that went. Heath Slater did a good gimmick with the I got kids gimmick. That was a great gimmick for him. Jinder Mahal did the whole whatever his name was, the mother of something.
The mother named Maharaja.
Yeah, that. And then the best thing ever, Drew McIntyre, how his gimmick is right now, is the best Drew McIntyre gimmick he's ever done. He started.
Yeah. Okay, so we're getting off topic. So
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I get it. Because we started talking about CM Punk, and I mean I don't really know what I can say that people don't really know. I miss him. I want him to come back every time that there is a chance for him. I really want Johnny Burns to be like CM Punk.
there's a small chance that that computer hacker that's been like, oh, this is what really happened with Otis and Mandy Rose. This is what really
Could be
happened.
CM Punk, yeah. Like
They're saying the big reveal will be CM Punk.
here's the thing: it's not going to be because
Before they bring CM Punk, they bring back Finley.
yeah, probably. Like Vince. Okay, first off, CM Punk would if he comes back, he's coming back bigger than that. Like unless that hacker gimmick is something like the Firefly Funhouse, where it starts off as something small and for some reason incredibly quickly, too quickly mind you, it gets hot and people love it, then there's no way that thing is CM Punk.
I'm just imagining Finley just coming back and he's like, I'm the hacker. Just he's like, I found the hacker.
Like he's
The
like
truth
he's
will be revealed.
Like
The
he's
truth will set you
I've been
free.
acting and I love to fight.
yeah, I was about to say he's hacking and he's like, time to play my music while I'm hacking.
No,
My
no.
name's
What if
Finley.
it's to come back
Love
with
to
Hornswoggle?
fight.
Let me tell you something, fella. All of this I've been doing so far has actually been a ploy to get Sheamus into the main event, but then he ended up losing the Intercontinental Championship match.
Hornswoggle was like, screw
J
it.
Security,
What if
where
Hornswoggle
you
was like,
at?
screw it. I was a general manager. I could do this hacking stuff. So Hornswoggle just comes back and he's just just laughing at everybody.
Can you imagine?
Okay,
when he comes back, he goes after Jamie Noble?
guys.
Yeah.
Dexter's driving me mad.
Okay.
Please let him talk.
All right, Dex, go. Who is your
Last and
influences?
certainly not
Please say
least,
something quick
our
and-
EBW
and-
champion.
Huh?
Great build-up. Great.
Come on, guys.
Just everything. Just so great. So glad to have you here.
All right, Dex, who were your influences for wrestling?
I had like a couple. You remember?
Do your three major ones. We all did three of them.
3? Alright. So growing up, like,
Oh, we know number
I
one.
was all into
Leo Rush.
Okay, so
Jordan Miles.
number one when I growing up, I want to say my number one was probably Edge, cause like I just loved the way he was in the ring.
He was
I
fucking with
loved-
Lita.
Yeah, exactly. And I loved, like,
That's the same
I like-
thing as
I
Johnny
love his, like,
saying.
charisma.
He like he like the Miz because he fucked Maurice. It's like, oh, Edge fucked Alito. That's respect.
Oh my god, bro.
Hey, Miz lost his virginity. I can't do that, but he can. I like him.
Sorry, Johnny. I'm gonna cut that out. I promise. I'm gonna cut that out.
He leaves it in.
Alright, so one of my number one favorites was Edge. Like growing up, I just loved his like charisma. Anything WWE gave him, like he just took it to the moon and never looked back. Like I don't really got much to say about Edge. I never really like looked really into everything he did and stuff. But like one of my top favorite matches was the triple threat match between him, the Big Show, and John. And,
Oh, when him and Big Show both got attitude adjustment at the same
Not
time. Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Edge jumped off.
Edge is a great as well, but I still think the good Edge was Edge and Christian versus the Hardys and Dudleys. Like that was top notch, one of his best matches.
Oh, for
It
real.
was him in the triple threat tag team match. Whenever that was like one of the greatest matches that any tag team can watch.
Alright, so my number two, I don't know, my number two is tied. Because like I don't know if it's either Pentagon Jr. or Kenny Omega. Cause them two is just teeter totter on my number two list. I'm like, oh shit, my phone's gonna die. And so like, cause like I love the way like literally everybody knows Kenny Omega's name, like anywhere around the world. The same thing with Pentagon. Kenny Omega.
Yeah, because Kenny Omega was like the biggest New Japan wrestler of today until he went to AEW, which after Kenny Omega was like announced, oh, he's moving to AEW. New Japan wrestlers, WWE New Japan fans was like, you know what? Kenny Omega's going there. I'm gonna watch it. And then here comes Chris Jericho moving to AEW. WWE fans kind of getting into it, and then Cody and Dustin be like, you know what? We somewhat own AEW, and then more WWE fans going, and then like Michael P. Hayes looking like Dog the Bounty Hunter joining AEW, and then like they've been getting WWE fans and New Japan fans because they're taking the good talent by putting their name out there. Like I forgot I don't know, the Switchblade twins. That was they did this whole Switchblade gimmick where they were both twins and yada yada yada, and they were part of the Bullet Club. They moved there. They got a pop. Most kids that go there, Jungle Boy, is that his name?
Yeah.
Jungle Boy got the biggest. I love Jungle Boy. He got the pop when he went there, but it's mainly like Ring of Honor, New Japan, WWE, and Thou Who Shall Not Be Named, and they're moving their wrestlers in there, and they're getting their stuff. But Kenny Omega is a great option for New Japan. No one said New Japan, other than and some others that we named, but they were in New Japan for 2 episodes just because they were brought for that.
All right, so my number 3, the best wrestler of all time.
Sorry, God, if he says Leo Rush.
G-O-A-T of all time.
You better not say Leo Rush.
The man of the hour.
I swear, bro. Bro, I'm getting Mark Henry. Mark Henry's gonna go beat his ass.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sexual chocolate? We getting some sexual chocolate up in the chat?
Bro, but no, like, hands down, Leo Rush is like the greatest, like, all-in-one character in my mind. His selling, perfect. His aerial moves, perfect. Anything he does in the ring to me is just like, just great. His mic work, awesome. Like, anything he does, he's just good at it.
Okay,
Like, yeah, I know that he has, like, because there's, like, different sides to the story, whether he had backstage heat or not. But, I don't know. But just hands down, Leo Rush is, like, the GOAT.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't like him. I don't like Leo Rush in WWE. But I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it because Jakes probably doesn't know, or he probably does, but CZW version of Leo had to be my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
With the whole dark gimmick that he was doing.
If anything, that's the like main thing that Dex probably searches up whenever it comes to Leo Rush is his independent stuff. The only thing that I believe buried him.
CZW stuff was amazing.
The only thing I believe that buried him from the start was his very last match from the Independents when he got pile driver through the table and just instantly stood up and no-sold it. That's something that people was like, "Oh no, like you can't do that."
And what killed Leo Rush for me is the whole Bobby Lashley thing. It's like, if you want the kid to be like, somewhat, put him out there. Don't team him up like a wrestler from the Attitude Era, because he's not going to amount to that. As good as he was.
Leo was a very good hype man. He made sure that manager work was good, but obviously his ring work is 1,000 times better.
Yeah, exactly. They could have put him in the ring more. Like, if
I wish the Cruiserweight title run would have been better.
Like during the whole management gimmick, like the whole what would have been perfect is like Bobby Lashley calls out a wrestler, or he's gonna try to like put it different, and then Braun Strowman says he wants to beat Bobby Lashley. Bobby's, you know what? I didn't say you were gonna get a match with me. I said you're gonna get Leo. You gotta. Bobby's hyping him. Leo's like, yeah, I could do it. Runs into Braun, down, gets choke slammed, and then the match will be as a job. That was, but no.
You cutting out bad now, Jagger. What's happening?
Exactly. You cutting out.
My bad. It's because I'm talking. If y'all I don't know, wrestling gets me into a mood where I just need to talk about certain shit. But could have done more.
Yo, Mike's still cutting, Jagger. I don't know what's happening.
But you know one thing I realized about 3, 4, all 5 of them?
What was that?
Not one time, maybe twice, did John Cena name come out of any of our mouths.
Well, he's not like okay. He's not an
Like I
influence.
said, he's the Hulk Hogan of WWE right
Like
now.
we said earlier, he's not kids really.
But I'm not gonna lie, he had the biggest demotion in the world. Have you seen that? Like his new finisher?
Rain punch.
He no longer does a AAA. He just does a back or a lightning punch. whatever.
Guys, look, check it out.
He's like,
Incel.
don't kick out.
Incel.
it's like, what are you doing, Cena? Are you like doing the Kami Ya right now? Are you charging your spirit bomb or some shit?
I think that's the whole thing. though.
Let me stop you there for a moment, guys. Jagger, let me stop you there for a moment. I'm going to unoffend any anime fans who have just like started screaming their lungs out of you calling it the Kamehameha. So what he means, guys, is the Kamehameha. Please don't snap his neck. We need him.
Okay, my bad. If they want to do the Kamikaze Ya, then they can do it.
Actually, I like that. That was good. No, you cannot try and save Jagger. Jagger says whatever he wants, and you know damn well. He's over here talking about his dad trying to play like the colored gimmick. You cannot go ahead and tell me that you could just stop him.
But like,
Yeah, you can't stop that.
gimmicks nowadays aren't as good as they used to. Like, Edge's comeback was great. Randy Orton staying there, great. Triple H should have stayed, but that happened. Shawn Michaels should have stayed, but he can barely look straight. The Undertaker should have stayed, but he's almost dying.
I thought he was already dead.
You got a
Dak,
point.
shut up.
Oh my God!
Johnny's the only one that's
Oh,
angry by what you said.
What, the Kamikaze Ya?
Yeah.
He'll go.
Not fine.
He'll get- Don't worry. Only thing he's gonna do is basically go to a musical and sing his heart out.
Well, he graduated already.
Now it's
So, we've honestly recorded over an hour. So,
yay!
longest episode, probably 6 people are going to listen, and that's probably going to be us and one random ass person. Is there really anyone else that comes into mind whenever it comes to being influences?
Doink the Clown.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Oh my God, 2.
These nuts.
Oh,
Wait,
3.
oh? Kennedy or John F. Kennedy? John F. Kennedy is kind of mind-blowing, you know?
Because he got shot.
Oh my God. Oh no.
But-
Oh no. Oh no.
I don't think I think we basically just got everybody that we looked up to when we were younger and who we still look up to.
Y'all make my
You know.
shoulder
Oh,
hurt.
I got one. I got another one.
What is it,
I
Dex?
got another one.
Who is it?
Can I
Yeah,
say it?
who is it?
Wait, I think I said it already.
Priest.
Oh,
Did I say Pentagon Jones?
You said that was one of them.
Junior?
You said Pentagon
yeah,
or
so
Omega?
that's one.
Oh, now I lied. I'm putting Pentagon over Kenny Omega because of like.
Because era miedo. I can't do that. I
Yeah.
can't do that with my other
Yeah.
shoulder right now.
Not gonna lie.
Aha! Because you broke it.
A lot of luchadors don't get what they deserve.
I love
Like,
luchador
the
wrestling.
I do too.
But yeah, I think that's all we really needed to do real quick. That was it. I
Johnny,
think.
we know you just came back for the 10th time, but do you have anyone else that you consider an influence?
Me, of course. Everybody looks up to me.
Dex, nobody looks up to you.
You guys.
You can
You
suck
guys
my
Oh,
are
he
balls.
looks
my
up to
influence.
us.
You guys made me who I am today. You guys brought me into EBW, and I'm grateful for that. I feel like anyone who's, given an opportunity to go to EBW should be more modest and grateful and not a jackass.
Johnny, that's the nicest
My
thing
name
you ever
is
said to me.
But you know, and we can all thank each other in here for actually helping us doing what we've done before. I actually never did this, but
I want to thank Kerry for putting me into it and getting me back into wrestling and shit. I want to thank Johnny for joining me in that journey and being the first person to actually be a teammate with. I want to thank Dex for being Dex, being there for my return. And I want to thank Austin for being Austin and falling off the trampoline for his first match at Johnny.
You keep my ass.
But I want to it's probably going to be my first time, and I'm going to be on the podcast every now and again, but I just want to say thank y'all for subscribing to us and enjoying the content that we produce. We do our best to put it out, and as of right now, we can't put anything out because of this virus, but I still want to thank y'all for subscribing and commenting good, and let's try to hit 1,000 subscribers.
Because for some reason, we've been losing subscribers. Sorry.
Yeah, y'all start subscribing because, we need the subscribers to get to 1,000. But I just want to say thank y'all for enjoying our wrestling stuff, and basically this is the end for now of the wrestling portion, and we would like to enjoy the podcast we are putting out.
And look, realistically, Jagger, we know you're not on here often, but I'm speaking for myself. I don't know about everyone else. Hopefully they feel the same, but you are a great wrestler. Well, okay, Dex is saying no, so just ignore him. But
you just ignored that.
But, I'm not saying it because, you said I helped a lot, but you helped us a good bit as well. You helped us understand the business a little bit more, probably more than we actually should.
Yeah.
And even though you're not around much, we do still think about you whenever we film, everything like that, and hopefully once all this is done, we'll be able to get you often and in this the season of EBW off right in the way it should be, despite circumstances that we currently are falling in. Not just in EBW, but in the world.
Yeah. And to anybody out there that's like, this is a joke, legit, if y'all want EBW back sooner, start doing the whole social distancing thing, be safe, do all that. We at EBW, we've been doing it. I've literally never left my house other than when I have to go to the store and help my parents and stuff. And it's only going to get done sooner if you listen. We love the fans, we love everybody, we want y'all to be happy, and we know that being stuck in your house isn't going to make you happy, but find ways to enjoy yourself, read a book. I know none of y'all can probably read yet that listen to us, but
he's trying to get some heat before coming back.
I love it.
Where's my mask? No, but y'all, just the sooner this ends, the sooner EBW comes back good, the sooner I'll be able to come
back stronger.
Hey, I feel attacked.
And then we can promise you this, the second wrestling episode of EBW comes up, it will be the best episode by far. We will try.
The best episode is when I debuted the cabin. I smell the cap. I smell the cap.
Dex.
Whoever smelt it dealt it.
I gotta get it.
Dex. Listen, the reason your debut is so good is because, not to be racist or anything, you're the only black guy
And that's
on
the end
team.
of the podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully you'll tune in for the next episode.
Next episode, we're going to talk about...
Let it out, Johnny. Let it out, Johnny. Wait, what are we talking about?
Kerry hitting the nut.
Man, can't we save my nut talk for another time?
But hey,
hello, you fans. Welcome to the Nuttest Show and back at us hot
I'm
nuts.
so attacked. It's over. It's over with.